जी बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। तो हम पढ़ रहे थे इन्ना इलाहकुम लवाहिद, बेशक तुम्हारे रब एक ही रब हैं, जो रब्बुस समावाति वल अर्दि वमा बैनहुमा व रब्बुल मशारिक, the Rabb of the heavens and whatever and the earth and whatever is in between them, and the Rabb of Mashariq, the places and the points of rising. Dr. Saab reminded us that in another verse there is Magharib as well. فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِرَبِّ الْمَشَارِقِ وَالْمَغَارِبِ إِنَّا لَقَادِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَن نُبَدِّلَ خَيْرًا مِّنْهُمْ وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمَسْبُوقِينَ in Surah Al-Ma'arij. To Allah is the Rabb of East and the West. And in one place there are three types of verses over here. In one place singular, in Surah Muzammil, Rabbul Mashriqi wal Maghribi la ilaha illa huwa fattakhidhu wakila. In another place Tathniya, Rabbul Mashriqaini wa Rabbul Maghribaini fabiyayyi ala'i rabbikuma tukadhiban. And another place plural, Fala uqsimu bi Rabbil Mashariqi wal Magharib. Now, those who object upon Quran use this as an objection, that Quran, there is contradiction. Why three different types of verses? And the meaning is very clear. Rabbul Mashriqi wal Maghribi la ilaha illa huwa fattakhidhu wakila is general. Mashriq, that there is east and there is west. Allah is the Rabb of east and He is the Rabb of the west. Just as a general, without any amount, ta'adad. Rabbul Mashriqaini wa Rabbul Maghribaini. You know, there is one Mashriq of summer and one Mashriq of winter, and another Maghrib of summer and another Maghrib of winter. The last point, the longest day of the year is 22nd June and the shortest day of the year is 22nd December. So these two Mashriqs are meant in Rabbul Mashriqaini wa Rabbul Maghribaini fabiyayyi ala'i rabbikuma tukazziban. The Mashriq of Shita and the Mashriq of Saif, Maghrib of Shita and Maghrib of Saif. And Rabbul Mashariqi wal Magharib means every day is different Mashriq Maghrib. Because every day sun is rising from a different place and setting at a different place. That is why you get 2 minutes difference every day. And so all three are due to various reasons. Rabbul Mashriq wal Maghrib is Muhmal, Mujmal, Ijmal. And Mashriqaini wal Maghribain, Mashriqul Shita was Saif and Maghribul Shita was Saif. And Mashariq wal Maghrib, because every day is Mashriq Maghrib is different. So this is why there is no contradiction in the Quran. You have to understand the meaning of the Quran. The problem today is that people, if they see some problem with something, they just make their own assumptions. Whereas they should be going to the experts. Tell me, if your car, at some problem you feel that there is something wrong in the problem, what would you do? Go to the mechanic, because he is the expert. You look for the best mechanic and he will find out what the problem is and he will tell you. You don't just throw the car away. So similarly, if you feel there is some problem in the Quran or problem in Islam, it doesn't mean you throw the Quran and Islam away. You come to the experts and ask them, I feel there is this problem, there is this objection, and the experts, professors will explain to you. So people don't want to do that. तो ये ऑब्जेक्शन में चक्कर में फंस जाते हैं लोग, चक्कर दिलाते हैं तो उसका चक्कर लेके बैठ जाते हैं, फिर उसमें दीन छोड़ बैठते हैं और अल्लाह बचाए मुर्तद हो जाते हैं, अपोस्टेट हो जाते हैं। अल्लाह हमारी नस्लों की हिफाजत फरमाए। तो रब्बुल मशारिक, and then Allah said inna zayyana as-samaa ad-dunya bi zinatin al-kawakib. Indeed, we have beautified and decorated the sky of this dunya, the sky of this world, with a beauty which is the stars. Now, if you look at the stars at night, when in summer there are no clouds, blue sky, and then there is no moonlight either, darkness, and you can only see the stars. So the stars look really, really nice and beautiful in that blue sky and at night. So, and it looks so nice that, you know, once I sat in my friend's car, Rolls Royce or Bentley, and you know, the roof, it was made like a sky. So there's all stars in there and lights coming out. It looks so nice and beautiful. This made like this, to the original one जो Allah ने बनाया वो कितना beautiful है. तो ये Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the sky beautiful. And you go to Travel Center, तो क्या है उसमें बहुत वर्षों पहले हम गए थे, है ना, अंदर दाखिल होते हैं, Orient क्या नाम है उसका, तो when you enter in there, उसमें उन्होंने वो बनाई है, शिप बनाई है, और शिप में सब खाने बैठते हैं, और शिप के ऊपर जो स्काई है, उस स्काई में उन्होंने वो सब सितारे बनाए हैं, और उसमें से लाइट आती है. तो वो इतना ब्यूटीफुल, ये तो बनावटी चीजें हैं. अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला स्काई, and Allah has made millions of stars over there. So Allah made them stars. Allah could have made, you know, like sun, moon, and that would have been enough. But Allah didn't suffice with the moon. Allah made the stars as well to make the sky look beautiful. بمصابيح رجوما للشياطين. सूर्य बिल्कुल बिल्कुल फिटो फिट सेम है वहाँ पर. सूर्य मुल्क की आयत डॉक्टर साहब ने पढ़ी, वलक़द ज़य्यना अस्समाअ दुनिया बिमसाबीह वजअलनाहा रुजूमन लिश्शयातीन वअअतदना लहुम अज़ाब अस्सईर. यहाँ पर भी वही है, इन्ना ज़य्यना अस्समाअ दुनिया बिज़ीनतिल कवाकिब, we have beautified it with a beauty which is in the form of the kawakib, and وحفظا من كل شيطان مارد, and to protect from every rebellious shaitan. So this is second aim. Qatada, who is one of the great mufassirin of Quran, says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the stars for one of three reasons. Number one, for zinat and beauty and adornment for the skies. And number two, وَعَلَامَاتٍ يُهْتَدَى بِهَا. Allah Pak made them signs by which you can gain guidance. Allah said, Surah Nahl, وَعَلَامَاتٍ وَبِالنَّجْمِ هُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ. So with nujum, they used to find ways. You know, we have compasses now, right? In those days, they never had compasses. And when they used to travel in the desert, okay, and in the desert, there's all sand, and you can get lost. One wrong move, and you're in the wrong direction. So how did they used to navigate? And they used to travel by night more than by day. Because by day there's too much heat, sun, so they used to rest under shades or under trees, and then in the evening they used to start their journey, and throughout the whole night they'd be traveling. So what they would do is, they would look at the star, and they would hold on to that star every day, follow that star, follow that star, follow the star, and they get to their destination. The star in the north, the star in the east, the star in the south, the star in the west, so they follow that direction. Because we don't look at stars, so that's why we have no expertise in there. But the Arabs, you know, they were really, really experts. Because we sleep inside bedrooms. They used to sleep outside, on the rooftop, on the veranda. And if they can't go to sleep, they just keep looking at stars and observing and studying until they fall asleep. So they study the stars and they know which star is where. Now stars are of two types. There are Thawabit and there are Jawari. Sawabit are those which are set in their places. You know, the main major stars. Like the sun, the moon is like star as well. And then we have the Mars and Jupiter and Venus and so all those large planets, right? Those planets are like the stars, they stay in their places, they don't move. But the other stars, there are other smaller stars which rotate and move around. So they are called فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالْخُنَّسِ الْجَوَارِ الْكُنَّسِ. Al-Jawari, they keep moving, they move from one place to the other. So they used to look at those stars, study them, and take the direction and follow that. So number two, they were made for guidance. And number three, they were made for rujuman lish-shayateen. And this is what Allah said, وَحِفْظًا مِّن كُلِّ شَيْطَانٍ مَارِدٍ. They are made to protect from every rebellious shaitan. So they were shot at shaitan like you shoot someone, or like when you play computer games and you shoot in the computer games. So sometimes they are used for shooting. And this is mentioned in the hadith. So I'll just finish off Qatada's quote. He was trying to say that people use these stars for horoscope, to search for their future. And they go to psychics who look at the stars, study them, and they predict the future. So Shariat says the stars have nothing to do with the functioning of the universe. Yes. They don't run the universe. They have nothing to do with the future of a person. So these people, in the pre-Islamic era of Jahiliyyah era, there were lots and lots of kahins. Kahins, soothsayers, fortune tellers, those who used to study the stars, nujumis. And they were flourishing. Like, you have some business which is going on. Their business was making lots of money. So people used to go to them and they used to predict. They used to read the palm, they used to look in the crystal ball, and they used to predict the future and your stars. And today as well you get psychics, and they have 12 stations of these Chand Qamar. And you will see every day in some tabloid newspapers that they have a psychic, astronomy, and the astronomer, he predicts future. And people who believe in that, they go to them and they ask, we want to get engaged, we want to get married, what date is, blessing for us, and what date is Nahusat Wali for us. And the psychic looks at everything, you should never get married in November. November is a really bad month for you. You can get married in January. February could be okay as well. But your best month is the June month. Now, your star is going to be from there, and this is going to be like this, and this star is in the movement, so this is going to affect you, so this is your best time. So this is how, especially the idol worshippers, they believe in these things too much. And in our Indian custom, the Hindus, they never go against the psychic. And their psychic is like their Jibreel Islam today. He brings wahi, and whatever he says is 100% true, and it can't be wrong. That's how they believe in it. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this is not true, and if you believe in these things, then that will be classed as shirk, associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some form of shirk. And in Sahih Muslim, there are many ahadith in the Kitabul Iman which mention this subject. أربع في أمتي لا يتركونهن, and among them والاستسقاء بالنجوم. In one riwayat, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam was sitting in Hudaybiyah after Fajr Salah, and it had rained during the night. So Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, do you know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said? Sahaba said, Allahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. And Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Allah said, أصبح من عبادي مؤمن بي وكافر فأما من قال مطرنا بنوع كذا وكذا فذلك كافر بي مؤمن بالكوكب وأما من قال مطرنا بفضل الله ورحمته فذلك مؤمن بي وكافر بالكوكب. That person who said that we were rained because of the fazl and the grace of Allah, then he has believed in me, Allah is saying in Hadith al-Qudsi, and he has disbelieved in the stars. And those who say the rain came because of so and so star, that star moved from his place to another place and it brought the rain, then he is believing in the stars and he is disbelieving in me. So to relate events to the stars is disbelief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why we are not allowed to go to these psychics. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man ata kahinan aw arrafan fasaddaqahu bima yaqul faqad kafara bima unzila ala Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Whoever goes to these soothsayers or those who claim to know things and he believes in what he says, then he has disbelieved in that was revealed upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Qatada is trying to say that the stars have been made only for one of three reasons. Number one, to adorn the heavens. Number two, as signs for travelers during the night to follow their path and get to their destination. And number three, to repel and shoot the shayateen. This third is mentioned over here. وَحِفْظًا مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْطَانٍ مَارِدٍ لَا يَسَّمَّعُونَ إِلَى الْمَلَيِ الْأَعْلَى وَيُغْزَفُونَ مِنْ كُلِّ جَانِبٍ دُحُورًا وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ وَاصِبٌ. जी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम
कि फरमाते हैं कि मेरे सहाबा की मिसाल एक नजूम
सितारों की तरह से।
तीनों फंक्शन जो है, तीनों फंक्शन सहाबा की ज़िंदगी और बाद की ज़िंदगी क़यामत तक होंगी। इनके अंदर जो भी एक तो ये कि एक भी सितारे को फॉलो कर लें तो मंजिल पर पहुंच जाओगे, डायरेक्शन। दूसरा है कि जितने भी फितन आ रहे हैं उसमें सिर्फ सहाबा को ही देखना है कि खुलफा राशिदीन और सहाबा की क्या ज़िंदगी। तो प्रोटेक्शन के लिहाज से भी जब भी कोई मसला आता है तो हम सहाबा की ज़िंदगी ही में देखते हैं।
जी सही है,
तीनों फंक्शन
सही है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। आगे अल्लाह पाक ने फरमाया वहिफ़्ज़म मिन कुल्लि शैतानिन मारिद ला यस्मऊन इलल मलइल अअला व युग़ज़फ़ून मिन कुल्लि जानिब। They never try to eavesdrop in the conversation of the upper levels, but they are struck and pelted from every direction. They cannot, they cannot eavesdrop to the upper heights, and they are struck from every side, tuhuran, repelled, walahum azabun wasib, and for them is lasting punishment. Wasib chipakne wala, stick ho jane wala. La yasma'un ilal malil a'la. The hadith explains this of istiraqu sam'. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that in one hadith that is narrated, Mufassirin have narrated, that before Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to this dunya, the jinns and the shayateens, they used to go up high above and they used to eavesdrop in the conversation of the malaika. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives some instructions and that is passed on by Jibreel alayhi salam to the malaika of the heavens, and they start talking among themselves like this is going to happen, but that news has not been related to those on the lower level. So what these shayateen and jinnats used to do is, they used to go up there and try to sometimes eavesdrop and secretly catch some words. Now, when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam was made prophet and Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq, the verses were to be revealed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a special protocol, protection, that they cannot go up there. This is to protect wahi. This is mentioned in Surah Al-Jinn. قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفَرٌ مِّنَ الْجِنِّ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا سَمِعْنَا قُرْآنًا عَجَبًا يَهْدِي إِلَى الرُّشْدِ فَآمَنَّا بِهِ وَلَن نُّشْرِكَ بِرَبِّنَا أَحَدًا وَأَنَّهُ تَعَالَى جَدُّ رَبِّنَا مَا اتَّخَذَ صَاحِبَةً وَلَا وَلَدًا وأنه كان يقول سفيهنا على الله شططا وأنا ظننا أن لن نعجز الله في الأرض ولن نعجزه هربا وأنا لا ندري أشر أريد بمن في الأرض أم أراد بهم ربهم رشدا. They saw the changes, we don't know what's going on, something's happening. And then they said وأنا كنا نقعد منها مقاعد للسمع فمن يستمع الآن يجد له شهابا رصدا. We used to sit in various stations for listening. But now, if we go to listen over there, then these shihab and stars are shocked at us. So we don't know why this huge sudden change has happened in the heavens. We can't grasp that. We are at a loss. So they started looking around for the reasons. They had their conversations, they had their meetings, and running around here and there. There is a huzz and buzz among them, and they are scared and terrified as well, and they want to know, they want to investigate what is going on. What does this mean? It means that the jinnats don't have knowledge of the unseen. They are not alimul ghaib. Otherwise they would have known that Quran is coming down. But Jibreel alayhi salam used to come and go, and Quran had started. Much of Quran was revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Many surahs were revealed and they still didn't find out. It was only once when some group of jinns were passing by Suqi Uqaz, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was leading Sahaba in Fajr Namaz, that they passed by that area, and then they heard the Quran. They said, "Shh, wait me, quiet." And they approached the Prophet ﷺ to listen to the Quran, and this is why we have been stopped from going up there. And Allah mentioned this in Surah Al-Ahqaf. وَإِذْ صَرَفْنَا إِلَيْكَ نَفَرًا مِّنَ الْجِنِّ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقُرْآنَ فَلَمَّا حَضَرُوهُ قَالُوا أَنصِتُوا فلما قضي ولوا إلى قومهم منذرين قالوا يا قومنا إنا سمعنا كتابا أنزل من بعد موسى مصدقا لما بين يديه يهدي إلى الحق وإلى طريق مستقيم يا قومنا أجيبوا داعي الله وآمنوا به يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويجركم من عذاب أليم. Those were good jinns. They embraced Islam and they gave da'wah to the other community of theirs as well. So this is the reality, that they used to go up there, but they were stopped and they started investigating and they finally found out that this is the reason. Then, now among the jinns are also many sharirs. Like among students there are many sharirs as well. So some sharir, jinns like sharir human beings, they still couldn't take it and they wanted to go up there. They had that craze that you want to listen. Now they know that they're going to get shot, but still they're going up there. Because when you have a bad habit, you can't give it up. Even though if it's risky, you'll still go and do it. People know these drugs and all this is risky, you could get caught by police, you could end up in jail, but they still go for these things. So, the jinnas, they used to go up there. Prophet ﷺ mentioned that they used to stand in rows one above the other like this. You see these fingers? They are one above the other. So they are formed rows, 1 jinn, 2 jinn, 3 jinn, 4 jinn, 5 jinn, 6 jinn, 7 jinn, and they are standing in rows, line right up to the top. And they go to near the heavens and try to eavesdrop. Now the star is shot at them. So sometimes he's heard something and he tells the one who is beneath, shh, this is going on. And then they run for their lives and the star comes and strikes him and he dies. He knows he's going to die, but still he goes up there. And sometimes what happens is he's unable to tell the one who's below and he's struck and he dies. So it strikes him in both cases, whether he gets chance to pass that news down or he doesn't, but he is struck. And death is certainty for that one who is at the top and who's eavesdropping and trying to listen. So then what happens is they pass one news to the other, to the other, to the other, and then pass the parcel and is passed down right till the below. And the jinn who is on the lower level, he has friendship with some fortune teller, soothsayer, and that soothsayer keeps him happy. And he reads some sort of some types of mantar which the jinn likes. So the jinn has friendship with him, so he comes and tells him, this is happening, this is going to happen. So he says, oh wow, yes, I know that. And then what he does is he puts some mirch, masala, achar, chutney on it, and with that he tells people that this is going to happen. So whatever additions he had made with it, and they are wrong fabrications. People don't look at those 99 fabrications, they look at one thing which was true and say, look, he said that day that this is going to happen and that is what happened. Yeah, this kahin is very good, he is beautiful, he knows his stuff. So people start believing in him. Ye fortune teller bahut acha hai, or his predictions are always right. So they don't look at the 99 wrong predictions, they look at that one right prediction and they start believing in psychics. So this is the cycle, and this is now why were they stopped? Because Quran was coming and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to protect the Quran. Allah didn't want any interference with the Quran, and this is why Allah chose Jibreel Amin alayhi salam, because he is the strongest among the angels. He has 600 wings and he is so huge, gigantic, massive that even if some shaitan or jinn saw him, वो भागे वहाँ से टट्टी निकल जाए, तो वो उसके सामने टिके ही नहीं. और इसीलिए कुरान में अल्लाह ने क्या कहा, इन्नहु लक़ौलु रसूलिन करीम ज़ी क़ुव्वतिन इंद ज़िल अर्शि मकीन मुताइन सम्मा अमीन. ज़ी क़ुव्वतिन, Jibreel alayhi salam is very, very strong and powerful, so nobody can interfere with the wahi and Quran Sharif. So Jibreel alayhi salam used to bring this wahi down. Now Imam Qurtubi rahmatullah alayhi says that one could ask question over here, that Quran stopped after 23 years, the Prophet ﷺ left, he went. So why is that still happening now? It should have stopped after the Prophet ﷺ. So Imam Qurtubi rahmatullah alayhi says that this is due to the i'zaz and ikram and honor of our beloved Prophet ﷺ. that due to his barakat, some protocol was taken and that protocol continued. Because he said the reason for that is that his nabuwwat is continuing until the day of Qiyamah. So that safety and protective measures will also continue until the day of Qiyamah. And the benefit in there is that this ummah be protected from all these kahanat and fortune tellers and soothsayers. That the ummah does not fall into these traps of these people. And alhamdulillah, today we don't get that many psychics. And as I mentioned, in the pre-Islamic era, Jahiliyyah, there were hundreds of them. And wherever you go, and there were big ones and large ones, and sometimes they used to say some true stuff as well. Like some kinds predicted the coming of Rasulullah Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when they saw some different things happening, they went to this kahin who was Satih, and he said that, Ya Jalih, Amrun Najih, Rajulun Fasih, Yaqulu la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Satih was told, he was on his deathbed, and one of his chelas came to him. And Sati said, I know why. Shall I tell you why you have come? Yes, you have seen a dream that some horses are coming from the Arabian side, and they are moving at an alarming speed, and they are conquering these areas. He said, yes, this is the type of dream. And you saw some fire coming from that side and burn these areas. Yes, this is what I saw. Well, that is the final prophet. He has arrived, and his companions and his followers will conquer these areas. This is the meaning of that. So Jali, he was a kahin, and he understood the meaning of that dream, and he gave this prophecy, and that is what happened. So sometimes they used to, get some indications from above, and they used to say this. But after the Prophet ﷺ was made a prophet, these types of things, very rapidly died down, and they were abolished, wiped out. Allah Pak is saying over here, لا يسمعون إلى الملأ الأعلى. يسمع, one qiraat is لا يسمعون. But the qiraat of Asim, narrated by Hafs, and of Hamza is يسمعون. And يسمعون is originally يتسمعون. So ta was changed into sin, and idgham was done according to the sarfi rules, and it became يسمعون. And tasamma means to eavesdrop, to attempt to listen to someone. And sami'a means to listen, but tasamma means to try and listen. So it means la yasma'una, they cannot even try to listen. They are dead scared. They only go from time to time, even though they know they're going to die, but they go. However,